the internet. Woohoo! Yeah, I gotta get my things up so I can watch the chat, so I can talk to you hooligans, you
So on
cool cat
YouTube, someone
kittens.
said, I know it all says, I am here to answer all of your questions. I think that's our job.
No, yeah, nice, awesome, sweet. I am here to answer all your questions. Heck yeah, know it all. Who is know it all?
I don't know.
They're a mod. How do you not know who they are if they have a blue wrench?
I have no idea. Wait. Is it a real blue wrench or did they put like an emoji there?
I think it's a real blue wrench because they're in
hold
blue.
on. Say who you are or you're going to get the knife hand.
Know it all. Identify yourself. Just take the blue wrench. Bob is the Bob is the bomb minus the M. That's funny. That's very funny because bomb minus M is Bob.
See, my brain was like dyslexia, just like not doing that correctly, and I was like, bomb.
What's up, Tony? What's up, all you cool cats and kittens over on the Instagrams? Getting all this stuff loaded up. This is the Refuge HQ live stream. This is where we hang out with you guys. We talk about stuff and things. You guys get to ask us questions. We give you the best answers that we have, or we go find those answers for you, or we tell you that those answers are irrelevant. All those are possibilities inside of this. Made it to above 0 today. That's freaking awesome. Bug Out Bob actual spells boba.
Sorry.
But I am not Boba Fett. I will give the best answer.
I have to know who you are. I'm the funniest. I give the best answer. It has to be somebody who was already a blue wrench and they changed their name. Because no, I don't remember anybody with the name Know It All getting a blue wrench.
I'm the roll with the T.
I'm the roll with the T. Troll?
I don't know. Take the blue wrench away.
Sorry, bro.
You did not identify yourself. That was the one request. Sorry, Charlie. Josh Butler's in the chat. What up, Josh Butler? Shout out to that dude. That's my homie. That's my brother from another mother. So, guys, we have a couple things to talk about. We got the big family preparedness giveaway going on right now. It's about $1,000 in different kits to set up you, your family, and your home to be, there's like blood all over this table. Why is there blood all over this table? Oh, yeah, that's right. We did a big video with a bunch of blood on this table. I'm sitting here, I'm like, what the heck is that? Why can't you use a belt as a tourniquet? You can use a belt as a tourniquet, but the same way that I wouldn't, like it's not designed for that. So it's most likely going to fail when you can buy $30, you can spend $30 and buy an actual tourniquet, right? It's not going to restrict the wound successfully over time. It's gonna be really hard to move the casualty and keep it like in the right position. Also, you're not gonna get proper pressure, so you're gonna have to like keep cinching down, and unless your belt is like that size, it's gonna be really unsuccessful. Versus you could just get a Cat Gen 7 or a soft T, right? That's a great question. A lot of people think that you can use belts as tourniquets. You can use a shirt and a stick as a tourniquet to cut off blood flow. You can use your leg to cut off blood flow, because all you're doing is you're creating pressure with that artery against the bone. And that's what's stopping the blood flow, right? But is that going to be sustainable over time? Because the average EMS response time is, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then you got to get to the hospital, and then you got to get into surgery. Versus if you were to just use a tourniquet properly, then it's applied, it's good, you're good to go. You're going to have to check it every now and then in case of swelling, but I mean, just use the right tools. That's a big thing. It's a good question though. The goon guys asked those questions. I wonder if that dude's actually a goon. I wonder, Is he out there just LARPing with the best of them? Lord knows I do it. Greetings from Canada. What is up? Reflexology, whatever, by Lori. There it is. Reflexology by Lori. It's very hard to read names on the internet. What is that red kit on the table? This red kit on the table is the Bearfac. This is the Bearfac 3.0. And so this bad mamma jamma is a full extensive first aid kit. It's not just a blowout kit. You can work the whole Marchi algorithm. So this would like molly to your plate carrier. You could put it on a bunch of different stuff. And then also you could attach it to a headrest. You can put it on a bag. You can put it in a bag. And the cool thing is you can deploy the inner out, right? So that way this can stay attached to wherever it is. And usually trauma medicine happens on the ground. People go down. So that way you can deploy it. Or if you're using it yourself and say you had a mechanical amputation, you can open it one-handed, and then it's prioritized by, your Marchi algorithm. So you have your tourniquet right here, you have your ETD, you have your quick clot right here at the very top, and you can see the red label, right? And then you can successfully, wound pack with that. Then you have your gloves, easily accessible. In the back, you've got the stack. So it's got shears. You got a couple of 5x9s to wipe viscous fluid, nasopharyngeal airway to secure a patented airway, burn shield dressing, halo chest seals, right? Then here in the bottom, you have the trauma pack. And this is like a trauma support module. So you've got an emergency blanket, more compressed gauze, rolled gauze, triangle bandage, flat gauzes, so 2x2s, 3x3, 4x4, and then you got an eye pad and an eye shield and some duct tape. All that comes inside of the trauma pack. And the BearFac is our flagship item. Like it's the best, believe it. And it's a buy once, cry once solution to first aid for you. You know, you could go get a China kit for $50, or you can trust your life to that, dude. And I don't know if you guys have priced out a funeral lately, but when that China kit fails on you, your family might have to. Versus you could buy an actual tested, high quality, you know, American built, American made first aid kit that, you know, professionals use. It's up to you, you know, to each their own. Everybody's a little bit different. Bear or bear? Bear. No, B-E-A-R, like the animal. The BearFac, Bear First Aid Kit. That was the first aid kit that we made, and our CEO is the one who designed it, and he goes by Bear, so that's why we call it that. It's a great question.
Text over on TikTok asked, do you get many UK customers?
Yeah, we get a ton of customers from the UK. We get a ton of customers from Canada. We've been picking up a lot in Germany and France, so that's interesting as well. But we love our British brothers over there. You know, we got no problems with you. We actually the U.S. and the U.K. just teamed up again for, you know, the next World War. Oh wait, did I say that out loud? But yeah, no, we do a lot of business over in the UK. Tonio asked a good question on Instagram. He says, "What's the proper amount of tourniquets to have?" Serious question. I believe I have like 15 spread out in different areas and vehicles. So I'm actually about to release a video on that. For like yourself plus one, like a team of 4, and then a team of like 6 to 8 people, and how many tourniquets you should actually have like spaced out, right? I believe 10 to 12 tourniquets for one person is a pretty substantial good number, right? Like I'm comfortable with that, because you should have some on your kit, have some in your vehicle, have some in your house, have some in your place of work, have a couple of backup spares because stuff goes wrong. And then I believe like having 2 or 3 good training tourniquets is really helpful as well, right? Like you want to have some blue trainers, so that way, 1, you're not using the same tourniquet over and over and over again, potentially stretching the Kevlar, wearing out the hook and loop. And then 2, it's blue and it's indicated, so you guys know it's a training tourniquet, right? That's one of the reasons we use blue as a training color. That's a great question. What should I carry on me as part of my EDC? Well, I can show you my EDC. So the number 1 preventable cause of death in the US right now is massive bleeding, which means that somebody was bleeding to death, right? And we didn't have a way to shut it off. So I carry on me every day. It don't matter, rain or shine. Minimum of 1 tourniquet, I carry 2, right? So I've got a soft T tourniquet right there in my lower pocket down here. I've got some combat gauze. And then I've got my ankle kit on me. And I used to carry a slit kit because it was all vacuum sealed, but I went to the ankle kit because, man, it is awesome. And I'll show you what's in my ankle kit. So I carry these 2 separate, right? Excuse me. So separate from the actual kit itself in my pockets in different locations right here. Boom. So we've got, in this one right here, I've got a 5x9 gauze pad and a set of chest seals. So that's in that pocket there, right? That sits cinched down. This one's just another soft T tourniquet, right? And it packs down real flat, so that way it's good to go, no worries, right? And then in this guy, I carry some gloves right here. And then I also carry 2 more wound packing gauzes, right? So that's a Celox, and then that's another combat gauze. So some people carry, you know, just compressed gauze. I carry an extra hemostatic. And that's just because I'm me and I had access to it, to be honest. And then also, you know, if I can use a hemostatic gauze, I'm gonna, because it accounts for that like human error factor, which is a big deal. If you're packing a wound, that's a big deal. So that's what I carry on me. I think at the very minimum 1 tourniquet, you should be 2, right? Because tourniquets fail, and if you, heaven forbid, you roll up on a car accident and more than you just need it, or more than one person needs a tourniquet, And then I think wound packing gauze should be on every person as well. We had that big campaign. You guys hear me say it all the time, carry an effing tourniquet. I'm gonna try to start another one that's carry effing wound packing gauze, because the junctional area is a thing, and we wanna be able to pack that wound as fast as possible. So hopefully that helps, you know, and it just start somewhere, right? Start with a tourniquet. It's $30 to get a tourniquet, and you can literally save a life. Like, we have people that all they've bought is a tourniquet and they've saved lives. That's a big, big deal. Versus, you know, trying to use a belt or trying to use like string or something like that, or just keeping manual pressure. Dude, just carry a TQ. It's super easy. Officer Blaze. Aye, aye, sir. We'll go over to the YouTube. The YouTube's got people.
Check out the YouTube comments. There's a lot.
Yeah, everybody's really active in the chat today. And IFAC is cheaper than a funeral, just saying. Yeah, super smart, Pennsylvania preparedness. It really is. Just ordered mine for the truck. Got them in all the cars. That's awesome. That's Lee Mentz, right? That's a good dude. So why a plant? Is it fake? It's not fake. That's a real plant, and we like oxygen. And I don't know if you knew that, but plants put that off. And so like, oh man, that was a good hit there. That's straight O2.
I watered it today.
Did you do? Dude, nice, nice.
It's gonna live. Hey, so they changed their name to Sad Colorless Wrench.
Ah, sad colorless wrench. Does it matter which ankle you put it on? Is there a left-footed version? No, it doesn't matter which ankle you put it on. You can put it on either one. I have it on my left foot right now.
Josh?
It's ambidextrous.
Jay Butler said, "Do you want me to find a know-it-all wrench?"
I gotta know who it is.
Email us, please.
I mean,
you could get your wrench back.
You could get your wrench. We'll give you the wrench back, bro. It's not that deep.
He had a really good question on TikTok.
What do you got?
If you buy the pack, does it come with the training series for it?
Yeah. So if you come with the pack, we send you an email right after you order with a bunch of training information, a whole video series about how to use stuff in there, what's in your kit so you can identify it, as well as a couple scenarios that you can run at home really easily with your fam to just train, right? There's one that's a motor vehicle accident scenario, how to set it up and what to do, what to look for, and the other one's an active shooter scenario, right? So there's a lot of things that people care about. No, foe, we're not giving it back. Forget you. Foe is our sad colorless wrench.
Know it all.
This guy, get out of here.
Oh my gosh, I was getting like, cause he said that's a great song in the background. I'm like looking around like, what?
All I bought so far are 4 tourniquets. Hey man, that's awesome. I would definitely start working towards getting some sort of wound packing gauze, realistically. Even just if it's compressed gauze, studies have shown us that there's not really a depreciable difference between wound packing gauze just compressed and then hemostatic impregnated. The main difference that happens is whether you wound pack correctly, right? And so inside of that stressful moment, that's where the hemostatic really shines because it has that clotting agent that assists you in clotting outside of just the pressure that's gonna, you're gonna use with the compressed gauze. What you got over there, Loop?
Tex over on TikTok asked, do you prefer combat gauze to that of Cheeto gauze from Safeguard or is it Celox?
Yeah, Celox. I don't have a preference. I carry combat gauze because 2 reasons. There's more data behind it. So there's that. It's Teleflex. So Teleflex makes it. They have a really good product line. And then for me, it's just more readily accessible. We choose combat gauze because COT-C supports that really heavily. But as long as it's a hemostatic impregnated gauze, it's going to work, right? Or hopefully it's going to work, right? I mean, all things depreciate with time. Is it overkill to put an IFAC on your battle belt and another med kit on your plate carrier? No, it's not overkill. It really isn't. I personally have 2 med kits on me. And that really depends on like, what are you doing, right? So if you're in a team setting and you're the medic, like you're going to have your own IFAC, right? Because your IFAC is individual first aid kit. So that's for you, right? So if you want the ability to treat somebody else, you got to carry different med on you, right? And so a lot of guys will carry a flat pack. A lot of guys will carry like an actual bag built out, or they'll carry like, a little CLS bag, which goes around the waist. That's what a lot of operators do. And they can work out of that CLS bag till they get back to the Humvee, till they get back to the MRAP, whatever have you, so that they can get, you know, more components, more support? That's a great question, Trucking Sasquatch.
Greg over on YouTube said, I ordered a slit kit and got it like a week ago. Been keeping it in my back pocket since I got it last night. The seal popped on it. I was wondering how to keep that from happening.
You know, all things depreciate over time. It's a vacuum seal, so mine broke, I think, maybe 4 weeks into carrying it. Carrying it in the back pocket, you're up and off of it pretty consistently. So that's a big thing. So something that I did when I wore jeans is when I sat down, I like took it out of my back pocket. Not a big deal, but you know, it's not going to suffer. Like the quality of the components aren't going to suffer because of that. It's still going to be like hyper water resistant. The Goon guys asked, why should I carry medical on my person every day? Because the #1 preventable cause of death in the U.S. is massive bleeding. You're more likely to get into a car accident than you are a shootout. If you carry a gun and you don't carry a tourniquet, you're wrong. Like you're wrong, right? Because it's much less likely that you use a sidearm. It's much more likely that you're in a car accident. And so, you know, as a guy who carries a firearm, I carry medical on me every single day, because if you're going to carry a way to make holes, you damn well better have a way to plug holes too, because standardly life is a two-way range. It's interactive, and so you don't get to be John Wick and just hurt everybody. It's very likely that you get hurt as well. So having the capability of rendering aid to yourself or to others, right? That's a big deal. We're big fans of our Lord Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, right? And he said, love thy neighbor as thyself. And so serve one another in love, right? And so if I see people go down, I want to help them. I want to render aid to my fellow man, because I feel like everybody should get a chance to get taken care of, you know? And maybe that's a wrong superhero complex that I have, but I just love people. And I want to help, right? And I think you probably are the same way. Like, I don't think you inherently hate people. You're probably not a selfish person. I say probably, but you know, I hate to assume that of people. And so I try to expect the best out of people. And so that's why I encourage everyday carry. It's a dangerous world out there. So the same reason that you'd carry a gun is the same reason you'd carry medical, is because you think something bad might happen. And if you think something bad might happen, you're probably going to need to render aid, realistically.
So now we've got, it's not me, it's the one-armed man.
Dude, Alien Gear Holsters is in the chat. What up, Alien Gear Holsters? Those guys are freaking awesome.
Should I make Foe mod again? Because he said, no mod, this chat is not open for the crazies.
Oh my gosh. Foe, you can be a mod. It's all right. Hey, since Alien Gear is here, we'll talk about this real quick. Oh my gosh, where did Bob go? Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. We're here. We're up. Okay, so you guys have seen us talking about this. We've done a lot of testing. We actually have a couple more of these coming, so that way we're going to run them in a new way. These are the tack straps. We're going to start carrying these here soon. A lot of people have reached out and been like, how do I buy these? So in the meantime, go to Alien Gear and grab a tack strap. If you're on the range and you're operating operationally like an operator, bro, or if you're a law enforcement officer, you're a SWAT cop, you're, you know, a tack dude, goon guys, this would be great for you. How this works is you can attach it to your belt, just like so, right? And then you can run a holster off of this. You can run mag carriers off of this. You can integrate it a lot of different ways, and it covers your main hose, right? So it sits there and it doesn't impede too much with what you're doing. But if you did take a hit to your femoral, right, all you got to do is work that ratchet, and now you've got arterial restriction, right? And they've done Doppler testing on this. They've done a lot of heavy testing. There's a couple of really cool Special Forces community. They're just dudes inside of Special Forces that are running these right now as well. I can't talk about like which groups, but this is a super successful application for a hasty tourniquet. Way better than, you know, trying to get a cat off while you're on the X if bad things are still happening, bullets are still flying, things are still blowing up. Having this on you to shut the bleeding off, so that way we can get you to a safe zone. We can get either a CAT Gen 7 or a Soft T or an RMT or a SAM XT applied, right? And then we can loosen this up if we need to. It's a really cool solution, and most guys are running thigh straps, right? Like a lot of dudes have those quarter drop or mid drop holsters. And so you already have a thigh strap on you. So why not integrate a tourniquet into that thigh strap? I think this is the way of the future. Like I really do. I'm excited about this. I run this on my kit. I just think it's important that people have tourniquets ready to go because I've seen what happens when they don't, and it's a bad, bad deal. We got another question over here. He said, what's the best kit to carry at the range? For me, the SOB, small to back kit, it's a great little blowout kit. It's got chest seals, nasopharyngeal airway, combat gauze, compressed gauze, a 4-inch ETD, some duct tape, and then a tourniquet, right? So majority of your gunshot wounds, that's gonna take care of it. And that's gonna give you, enough time to get to a higher level of care if we've gotta do something else. So I highly recommend the SOB. What do you got?
Over on TikTok, do you sell a build your own kit?
We do not sell a build your own kit, and there's a couple of reasons for that. We've talked about it time and time again. The thing is we work really hard with subject matter experts to put what we believe is best inside of the kits. And so to have people start selecting things and taking things out, it will change the efficacy of an IFAC, right? So if I let you build your own SOB and you don't have wound packing gauze, I have failed you, right? If I let you build your own IFAC and you don't have a tourniquet, I have failed you, right? So what we do is we take constant feedback from you guys, right? If you're like, man, I really need a first aid kit that has X, Y, and Z, or that just has this, this, and this, we're down to hear that, right? So we have people that literally get paid every single day to sit and stare at a phone or at a live chat and, just answer questions, right? Or to hear your complaints, your concerns, your inquiries, so that way we can build the best products for you. We're not some huge bloated conglomerate that has 97 departments. We're a small group of homies out here just trying to make the best IFACs that the world has ever seen. And it's a process, but it's a process that we try to include you in so that way you have the ability to give feedback. We're not like a company that doesn't hear you. That's why we do these live streams every week. It's a Q&A. It's an opportunity to do a temperature check. It's like, hey, what's going on? What do you guys want to see? What do you need from us? What are your complaints or concerns? How do we help? And let's get it popping, Let's do what we can for y'all because we're here to solve problems and save lives, right? And if we're not solving problems and saving lives and we're doing something wrong and we need to readjust, get back into our lane and do our thing, right? That's a great question. I remember asking you before you got one to try, and so happy to hear y'all are carrying them. Yeah, so I talked to Alien Gear yesterday. I talked to my buddy Randy over there and my buddy Riley, and they are some really cool cats, and their innovation in this is awesome. So we're pumped to start carrying these bad mamma jammas. They're serious. It's not something that you're gonna carry in your kit, but to have gear on you, like if you run any sort of thigh strap, especially, not just off your pistol, but say you run mags or something like that on your secondary thigh, dude, it's a no-brainer. It really is. Really helps. Each kit should have a small Snicker bars because if the TQ doesn't work and I might not make it, at least I get a Snickers first. Did you imagine that? Somebody's dying and you're like, eat a Snickers bar.
Yourself until you've had a Snickers.
Do you ship to Europe? Yes, we do ship to Europe. We sure do. You got to deal with VAT tax, but that's kind of the case with anything from the U.S. But if you ever have any questions or anything like that, reach out to sales at Refuge Medical. Fo is a pro. We're working with, we're trying to get set up with Polar Air Tactical right now to have them be one of our distributors in Europe because there's some pretty cool cats. No, I don't think so. Justin Winch, any plans on to make an oral rehydration package, one with real ingredients and not BS filler BS? We like our oral rehydration salts. They seem to work pretty good for us. If you have a better recommendation, I'm all ears. Throw us a recommendation. If you know of a better product, we're always open to hear it because we want feedback from y'all. That's how this works. That's how we get better. We don't try to beat anybody down. We try to open ourselves up to receive constructive feedback. That's all. Basic ingredients like potassium, magnesium, salts, and real cane sugar. That's a great suggestion. I don't think that there's any dyes in it, is there? Because I'm not a dye person myself.
Trioral? Are we talking about trioral?
Yeah,
we're talking about
trioral would be what we're talking about. Let's pull up an ingredient list. Do your salts have stevia? I don't know off the top of my head.
The Jocko rehydrates have monk fruit.
Yeah, the Jocko rehydrate, which I don't know that we're still carrying, had monk fruit in it, which is like an okay sweetener in terms of sweeteners out there, right? So I've been thinking about the Minuteman concept. I have an SOB on the battle belt. Would you say that's enough? Or should I move in a different direction? I have an ARC in the car and an ankle kit. Yeah, so an SOB on the belt is great for you. ARC in the car, awesome choice. The main question for the Minuteman concept is like, are there other people that are being Minutemen with you, right? So like if you have a MAG, a mutual assistance group, is somebody the designated medic, right? And then something I like to think about too that the Minutemen did really well back in the Dizzy is they had like lines of support outside of the field, right? So do you have wound care buckets to tend to a wound afterwards? Do you have a surgical bucket and somebody who can perform surgery inside of your pipeline? These are all things to kind of investigate. And we have a lot of supplies here to support you guys in whatever facet you may be working in, whether you're, tier 2, tier 1 dudes, whether you're a civilian, whether you're a soccer mom, whether you're law enforcement. We try to make ourselves pretty available in terms of getting you the right gear. Something that might be the next move is a field medic. It's a large kit. It's definitely a larger price point, but with that, you have so much capability opened up in terms of prolonged field care, which is a big deal. And if you're like, man, I'm not ready for the field medic, the adventure kit is also a really good solution. And you can kind of take some of that stuff out of the bag, store that at home if you don't want to carry it on there because it's not like tactical. And that gives you more real estate inside that bag to have a shoulder bag that you can throw along, with your rig or whatever have you. And then you have additional med on you to treat other people. What you got?
So for the Trioral, the lemon one is sweetened with stevia.
Okay, so lemon has stevia in it.
The normal, like flavorless one, there's no artificial colors, preservatives, and there's no sweeteners.
Okay, so no sweeteners, no artificial preservatives, no colors inside the rehydration salts.
And you can find it, you just a quick Google search, you'll find the ingredients, like the back of the package will be up there, so
yeah.
You can check it.
And like I said, I didn't know, so I'm not gonna speak about something I don't know about. I try to be pretty transparent in that. I can't memorize and know everything. Turns out I just got this one brain and it's not even that good most of the days. Do you a dedicated medical person? I don't know. I don't know what you're asking. Are you talking about Refuge, or are you talking about like me in my life? Do I have a dedicated medical person? Yes is the answer to both. So Refuge, we have about, I think it's 5 SMEs right now that contract with us at different times in the years, depending on when their schedule is. And that's everything from SARC medics to paramedics to TAC-Ps to, we have a 68 whiskey that helps us with stuff too. And, we do constant consultations, we do constant feedback and results, we do constant training here in the office too, just trying to learn, to continue to grow our knowledge as well as offer better and more innovative products to you guys, to give you stuff that works, that's gonna work on the X, that's not gonna fail you. I'm not asking for fake reviews if you haven't purchased a kit. Oh yeah, so Striker Cade's doing a cool thing right now. He's asking a bunch of people to drop reviews. I'll get to you right now, Goon guys, hold on one second. So Striker Cade, he's asking for people to leave reviews on our Google reviews, and for every review that somebody leaves, he's donating money to Caleb House, which is an anti-trafficking organization that we partner with pretty consistently. We love the people over there, they're freaking awesome. Bunch of rock stars trying to help put kiddos back together again. So they're a rehabilitation facility that helps victims of juvenile sex trafficking. So for every review that somebody leaves on the Refuge side, Striker, and this is his own accord, I don't even know that dude's name. I don't know if it's actually Striker or not, but he has decided and felt compelled to donate for every review done to try to help us out at Refuge, which is awesome. I really appreciate that. You don't have to do that, bro. You really don't. And I would suggest, like, if you feel led to donate to them, just donate to them. You don't have to, like, leverage stuff for Refuge. We're great, bro. And that's really kind of you. Can you show us a field medic kit? I don't think so, because I don't have one. We shipped our last field medic that was in-house yesterday. And so I can definitely, you have a video about the field medic? Mm-hmm. Yeah, can you drop the link? So Lauren will drop the link to the Field Medic in the chat below, so you guys after the live stream can go check it out. That'll be in depth. It'll be kind of like better than me just trying to like yard sale shite on the table, and teach you guys there. So what kit can I get so my wife and kids are covered? It's a great question, right? So I usually recommend for home like 1 or 2 bleeding control kits and then an adventure kit. The adventure kit you can go and travel with. It's in a nice American-made shoulder bag. It has, prolonged field care. It has trauma medicine. It has sports medicine capabilities. So you got like splinting, ACE wraps, over-the-counter meds, glucose, rehydration salts. Like you have stuff for boo-boos, right? So you have some Band-Aids. You have steri strips. Then you also have chest seals and tourniquets and all that jazz built into the adventure kit, right? And that's in an American-built first aid kit. So it's that we make those there in Fort Smith. It's a really high-quality kit.
That was a video too with Britt and Jackie, who's super knowledgeable.
Yeah, she's a nurse, and then she just got her holistic nursing or something like that. She's going into holistic medicine now too, which is really interesting stuff.
Really good question.
Yep.
Over on Instagram, do you build the packs yourself or are they made in a factory?
We build the packs ourselves. There's guys, Ren is sitting there with his headphones in right now packing kits. Jadis is probably somewhere packing kits. Abby's somewhere packing kits. There's probably more people packing kits somewhere. And then we have a couple of sew shops here in the US where we do all of our own manufacturing. We've outsourced twice. Not like out of country, but like we've contracted other sew shops to make our stuff. And like it works, but it's just not as intimate, And for us, like we really want to be related to not like literally related, but like really close to whoever's sewing our stuff because the quality control is such a thing. Like yesterday I went over to our designer shop and we were talking about a new kit that we're building, and it's so nice to be able to like sit down inside of a safe space, have a good conversation, not have to worry about trust, not have to worry about competition, not have to worry about like people coming in and taking our designs or anything like that. It's a family thing. Like we get a really cool team here that builds stuff for y'all, which is awesome. I mean, you can call this a factory, but it's a Dollar General that we bought cash. So pretty lame factory.
It has like the sticker on the floor that's like hundreds of items.
You could save hundreds of dollars on items shopped, and somebody like put duct tape over like items and said medical. Just because we do what works, right? We're a small business. We're not owned by any like foreign interests. There's no capital venturists that have invested in us. We bootstrapped this thing from the ground up. We started in a barn about 5 years ago. And now we're where we are, and we're continuing to grow because of you guys. And so that's one of the reasons we take these live streams and the feedback from y'all so seriously, is because that's how we get better, is by talking to you guys and getting that constant feedback. And then we have the maneuverability of like saying, hey, I'm going to call the sew shop really quick and be like, hey, I'm coming over here in a little bit. We got to talk about this, that, and the third. We're going to fix this. We're going to tweak that. And then we can do that in production. It's not like, oh, I got to call Maine. Maine's got to change all their manufacturing processes and all these machines and all that stuff. It's like, dude, we got, some awesome people that we've gotten to employ that are sitting at these 20 to 25 sewing machines, a couple people cutting, a couple people doing laser and design. And we can grab the team really quick, talk to everybody. And we've got some videos about that, just going to the sew shop, hanging out with Dan, our production guy over there. And it's pretty sweet. Excuse me. I was a CLS and one of the first responders to the Chow Hall bombing in Fob Marez. Oh, wow. More people would be alive today if I had an RM kit. Oof. Yeah, dude, and that's what we're trying to prevent. Like, we want people to have the right gear. When are the next training dates? Oh yeah, so we did have some training dates drop. Those are going to be July 21st, 22nd, right? Yes. 21, 22 of July is our next round of training dates. And that's awesome. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. I'm just checking all the comments, I want to make sure I don't miss anything. If you guys have questions, throw them in the chat, as always. We'll hang out. We try to answer them as best we can. Plant needs water. It got watered today.
Yeah.
It just takes a
Hello,
little bit of
everyone.
time. What time zone? We're in Central, so we're in Oklahoma. Good old Oklahoma. Where
Okay, to be fair for the plant, I used to work in the office a lot more than I do now. Most of my job is remote now, and that's my plant. And the only reason I haven't taken it home is because it's also the live stream plant.
That's right.
And so I finally took it to the sink today and just like drenched it.
Right. What is your policy if a bag rips or tears? We'll replace it. We've had to replace like maybe 4, I think. And like, dude, that was impressive when they ripped them. But you know, for us, we're just gonna do the right thing. Like, I'm not gonna make you like send me a dissertation as to how it happened. Dude, I'm just gonna replace it. Because if I do the right thing by you, you're gonna do the right thing by me. And people don't take advantage of it because they know that we're a good company that tries to do good work for you guys. Per Google Street View, it was a Family Dollar, not a Dollar General. Yeah, so there you go. Sorry. I get them mixed up. Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Family Dollar. Yeah, it's the red one, right? Which is nice because red is one of our colors, so it kind of went pretty well together. These have been some great questions, guys, so far. Really good stuff. Really good questions. Can you show how to mount a belt kit to a rifle stock? I just shot this video.
That will be coming out probably tomorrow.
Yeah, so look in the newsletter tomorrow. We'll send that video out in the newsletter tomorrow. I just did it on how to do it. It's super easy. Don't overthink it. And then if you want to secure it a little bit differently or maybe like a little bit tighter, you can do that. No big deal. But the belt kit's really good for that. And you know, depending if how you run your setup and everything, you can make it so where it can flip to both sides if you're one of those ambidextrous shooters that works doorways and stuff, or if you're just a single side shooter, you can kind of fix it to the stock a little bit more, you know, firmly.
Do you have nutrition training or just first aid?
We focus mainly on first aid, although we have been talking about like holistic medicine and like nutritional training and stuff. That was something I had a conversation with Refuge Medical about. For us, like, once again, kind of staying in your lane deal. So it's challenging to like do everything, and Pareto principle, right? So like take what's working, what you're good at, do that. And so, you know, it's definitely something that we've discussed. It definitely is.
Why are shears not purchasable as an individual component?
Shears are available. Yeah, so Liberty just dropped the link there, so you can grab some shears. How many people should you have in a mutual assistance group? That's a great question. Kind of depends on where you are. Like, what are you guys doing? In my head, like, depends if you're growing food or if you're supporting your own food and stuff like that. And all that jazz, and then like security and everything, and like how many people do you know? As many people as you can trust, you know, I think would be a good answer. Probably no less than 4, no more than like 30 in my head. Like over 30 probably gets messy, but I don't know. You know, I'm just like, I'm not a pro at mutual assistance groups. I'm part of one, but you know, it ebbs and flows, I'm sure. You know, I've seen mutual assistance groups, they constantly change. People move, people, you know, come, they go. They change, you know, their levels of involvement, you know, and there's a season for all things, says Ecclesiastes. So you got to be attentive to that too. But I would say start with a good 4 to 8 person team, right? And, you know, 4 good families, that's a lot of people, that's a lot of mouths, that's a lot of support. You can do a lot with 4. Have you picked a new bag for the field medic? We've talked about it. We're still throwing around whether it's going to stay in the same bag or not. I'm pretty sure I know who that is. I had a conversation with that person. And so we've talked about it, but like, there's still a lot of things we really like about that bag. And there's still a lot of things that are like really good about that bag. It's just, we're trying to figure out what works best for the plan moving forward. Yeah, we just still mulling stuff around there. It's a good question though. Striker, Would you please let people know how to leave a review? I got to go. Yeah, so if you go to google.com, type in Refuge Medical. Google Maps is one of the easiest way to do it. Go to Google Maps, type in Refuge Medical. It'll pop up, and you can just click leave a review, and then leave an honest review, you know? And we appreciate it, for sure, for sure. Do they recommend a cat TQ or soft T if they are not using those to teach? I would avoid. I don't know what you're talking about there. Cat TQ is awesome. Soft T is awesome. There's other Cot C TQs out there. You know, okay, I got you. For people not in reach of RM classes, do you have things that you should look for in training classes so they know it's legit and valuable? Yeah, time, right? So, and value, right? So like, what are they teaching you? Is it scenario based? Are they putting you into situations? Are they doing good practices? And then check people who have gone to the class, right? Like that's one of the easiest things, go to reviews. And if they're like really shady about reviews and about like talking to previous students, that's kind of weird. Like, you know, for us, we leave our reviews, we make testimonial videos of people that have taken before they've taken it, after they've taken it. Because we just want to be transparent with you guys. Transparency is big with training, you know, and there's a lot of great training organizations across the country. We were just talking to A&R Tactics over in North Carolina yesterday. That's an awesome TECC and combatives training organization. They're huge on like Facebook, and they're big on Instagram too, and just how we can partner with those guys better too, you know. It does say Refuge Medical Training on Google Maps, just so you all know. Yeah, it's how they did it. I can't change it. Where are you guys located? We are located in Oklahoma, kind of by Fort Smith, right? Spiro, Oklahoma is the town. There's like two and a half people here. They're all here in this building. No, I'm joking. It's a small town, Oklahoma, but it works for us, man. You know, we don't like the big cities too much. They're kind of crazy. So we have some trainings that are coming up here. The reason we're doing trainings located inside of the building is for a couple of reasons. One, we have a little bit better control over the time. And so, you know, sometimes like locations have hard ins, hard outs. Like we talk a lot, like we teach a lot, we do scenarios, and sometimes people take more time in scenarios. And so not having that super hard out time is important, as well as we have a little bit more freedom. Like, you know, sometimes people get upset if you throw a flashbang in their building. I totally get that.
Or rip the door off.
Or rip the door off because it's an aggressive training sometimes. That's a Responder 3 course. We don't have any of those available right now. But still, we wanted to give you guys the ability to train. And so we have one coming up in March, but that's sold out. That's smoked, right? The March, yeah, March is sold out. So the next one's July 21 and 22. We have the Refuge Responder, and that has TACMed and then also preparedness. So those are two good options right there, and good ideas to like learn about. And so you'll have some TACMed, and then you'll also finish it up with some preparedness, right? Might have to come out.
How would you treat oil to the eye? Eye wash.
Eye wash, yeah. Wash it out. Wash it out and cover it, and then you might have to go get some sort of like steroid for the eye to help, you know, with any damage that's done. Oh, sick. Shawnee, Kansas is where I'm from. Might have to come out. Yeah, come out, bro. Come party with us. I've been to Shawnee, Kansas before. Pro tip, learn how to use all different types of TQs. Reason being, if you end up in a situation having to use someone else's equipment, you should know how to administer the aid properly. That's an awesome tip. That's great. Like super duper true, right? I know how to use a SAM XT. I know how to use an RMT. I know how to use, unfortunately, a RATS or Rapid. I know how to use a CAT Gen 7. I know how to use a soft T, right? And the best way to remediate that situation is always have a tourniquet on you too, right? So that way you're not like showing up and being like, oh my God, I got to use this tourniquet I've never seen before. No, you got one in your pocket, silly.
So
what you got?
Grant, the one who's from Shawnee,
Yep.
said, what medical kit do you think I should get from y'all? I'm a competitive shooter.
So you're a competitive shooter, which means you're doing 3-gun, maybe, right? Or USPCA, right? Or I forget which, all the different, there's so many groups out there now. But I'd run an SOB. It's sleek. It's the small to back kit, so you have a full blowout kit. So it comes with chest seals, nasopharyngeal airway, compressed gauze, combat gauze, duct tape, Then you've also got a 4-inch flat ETD, and then you've got a tourniquet too, all inside like a small pouch. It weighs less than an AR mag. It sits in the small of the back, so it's not in the way of anything, and usually that's real estate that's not used in competitive shooting. So that's kind of a great option. And then, you know, it gives you still USPSA mainly, but yeah, you get the idea. Yeah, see, I can't spell, so joke's on you. But seriously, Grant, I think that'd be a great option. Plus we have all the cool colors in that, so you can run like a black if that's what your belt is, or Ranger, or multicam, or you can just run it in red too, which I kind of recommend people do, especially if it's not like in a tactical setting. Red is the color of first aid for a reason, right? And so that's a big deal.
Hey, Pop1984 said, I keep getting ads for equipment to help those choking. I believe it's called LifeVac. What do you guys think of that item, and do you have something on par? Yes,
I love LifeVac. I like dechoker a lot too. I have dechokers at my house. We have dechokers in this building. It's really hard to set up as a distributor for them. Otherwise, we would be carrying dechokers here, but LifeVac is also a really good option. So those are the two that I really support, is LifeVac and dechoker. Like, it's a good tool to have, especially if you have small children. Like, I mean, adults can choke. Adults choke and die every year. It does happen. But having a tool to like create that suction and pull that stuff out is really, really cool. And the thing I like about dechoker is you have the different sizes. So they have an infant, a child, and an adult setting. And so those are like, they have masks that you can push into, and then boom, it's literally like a giant plunger.
And then the air, like if it doesn't come out the first time, you can push it back in, but it doesn't push the air.
It goes outside.
And then you're able to do it again.
Yep.
OCMT over on TikTok asked an interesting question.
Okay.
Why do y'all sell the SWAT T when it's not TCCC approved?
That's a great question. That's because kids exist. So the SWAT T is awesome for tourniquets for small children. So I don't recommend people use the SWAT T on adults ever. It's the same reason I sell an S-Mark bandage. Like kids with tiny limbs, it's hard to get like a cat tourniquet to work on them, or a soft T. Whereas a SWAT T, I can like wrap it around my finger, right? And so tiny babies, stuff like that, it's a big come up for that. And I always recommend law enforcement officers grab a SWAT T or an S-Mark. SWAT T is cool because if you're using it for kids, you can literally take it, cut it in half, and you have two, right? And so that's what me and my wife did is, you know, we have smaller children, and so we're able to have 2 tourniquets out of that one package right there for a small kid. It's also good for a compression bandage, right? So like modular use, right? So whereas I wouldn't use it as a tourniquet, if I like needed to cover something with a little bit of pressure, I can take that SWAT T and I can wrap it around, create pressure, and tie on it right there. And that's a good option for a pressure bandage as well.
The Slishman is also a good option.
All right, because I'd get 2 for my tactical loadout and my actual comp belt. Yeah, then realistically, I'd recommend the SOB because it gives you like modular capability too. And I mean, the cool thing is you could even get like an inner bag, outer bag for the SOB if you're trying to like ball on a budget right now, and you can take the inner from the SOB and you can swap it over to the other pouch into the different belts. Now, probably best to just have an extra first aid kit anyways, but it is an option for you. You posted a video of an officer shot. Do you know what his status is now?
Which one? If you're talking about Sarge, I wonder if you're talking about Sarge.
Probably talking about Sarge. He made it. Yeah.
I mean, I can't be like, yeah, 100% I know.
Yeah.
But like,
I'm pretty confident he made it. But like, if you're talking about the officer that struggled with like telling them, hey, tourniquet me, after he had taken rounds from the guy that ran up to his car, I'm like 85, 90% sure that he made it.
Because we posted several.
Yeah.
The cop that the guy was sitting there fumbling, and he was literally just like,
yeah, yeah.
We had the other cop who got shot by the guy who was sitting on the green metal box. Remember that?
Yep.
And he's like, you see it just
pouring out,
and you're like, please tourniquet your arm.
Which is like, that comes back to the tack strap,
yeah.
Right? You can cut this down and you can run this off your plate carrier like so, and it hooks into your like top of your duty vest, and just having the ability to like keep a gun up, right? And then just work that. Dude, it will save lives, right? Especially if you're an officer.
I feel like it it would look funny to be running around with like one on every limb, but then at the same time, Sarge got hit
in every limb.
Like he could have just been like, tighten them up.
Time out. You know, it really does happen. I mean, people think that it's crazy. Like, why would you need 4 tourniquets? Because it happens. It really does.
Operator Donut on YouTube just did a video on him. He survived and sending fam a check.
Nice.
That's so cool.
That is awesome. Yeah, I mean, serious shooting there. Serious shooting. And that guy's going to be in recovery and in freaking physical therapy for a while.
It was honestly, that video, it was a miracle because he got stuck. I guess he got stuck up on his seatbelt. So the fact that he was able to get out in time before that guy just came over and just executed him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The fact that he was able to get out
and get shots on.
Get shots on
yeah.
And then just like collapse.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like
Talk about adrenaline dump, man. Yeah. Adrenaline's a crazy thing, dude. It really, really is. Yeah. Can't wait to meet all of you at Refuge in March at the Ruckus. Heck yeah, dude. The Ruckus is going to be super fun. If you guys haven't signed up for the Refuge Ruckus, you got to do it. You just got to do it. Come ruck with us. We're raising money for Caleb House, which is a facility to rehabilitate children that have been sexually abused by traffickers and the people that they traffic them to. And what we're going to do is we're going to hold a big event. It's a 2-day, 3-day event. And we're going to have a bunch of speakers. We're going to have vendors. We'll have music. We'll have worship. We'll have Bible studies. And then Sunday we have a large-scale ruck. It's like a 5K. And there's a bunch of different weight classes. If you're a mom with a baby, you can come and ruck. If you're a cool guy, you can bring your whole rucksack and do that. And what it is you get sponsored to ruck, and that money all goes to Caleb House, right? And it's a really, really cool event. Lauren will drop the link to Refuge Ruckus in the chat, and that way you guys can go and sign up if you haven't signed up already. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be a really fun time. I'm actually sizing up my new rucksack right now, kind of like looking at it over there. It's in the distance. So freaking sweet.
So RGE Wolf over on TikTok said, live in Texas and the heat causes me to replace, thank you TikTok for doing that. Sorry, it just refreshed. Caused me to replace items in my first aid kit for the truck all the time. And then the next comment he said, do you have a recommendation for a vehicle first aid kit?
Yeah. So one thing that we do is we have the crash and smash kits. Those are nice because they're inside of a Pelican case, which helps mediate temperature a little bit, gives you better insulation. And then we also work with components that don't suffer as bad inside of the heat. Now there's stuff like adhesives on the tourniquets. If it's in the sun all day, there's not much that we can do for you. But like our chest seals, we work with Halo chest seals. We moved away from the hyphens because Halo has an additional scriminant inside the adhesive, which allows for a better separation from that plastic, so it's not suffering as bad. We try to do medical tape in a way in the packaging that's like protected, it's insulated. It's one of the cool things about these kits here is you could run a Bearfac and it's in a bag, in another bag. So that's additional insulation to help protect it from the elements. It's a big deal to us. You know, another thing is like, hey dude, if it's July in Texas, you know, the same way that you probably shouldn't leave your ammo in the truck because temperature fluctuation will change the ballistics, might grab your first aid kit too. And I know it's like, oh, I got to take this stuff out of my truck. Yeah, dude, it's okay. You just want it to last longer, right? Or you're going to replace it. That's just the way she goes.
Survival Guyver said, is there a limit to the amount of wind buckets I can buy at one time? I'm thinking about giving a few away to my subs.
Nope, there is not a limit. We've had people buy a pallet before. So if you're buying more than a pallet, probably like give us a call because we might have a lead time. But no, what is there on the pallet? 3, 6, 9. There's 27 on a pallet. So if you're buying more than 30, give me a call and we'll just let you know what the lead time is going to be. But no, there's no limit. I really thought you said for a second we are rucking with traffickers. Nope, that would be a completely different type of event. That would be one with wood chippers. I mean, that would be, anyways.
They're stored back under the seat.
Yeah, so I would recommend like a smash kit. Smash or crash, because it comes in the Pelican kit, and you can get it in a bunch of different colors. You can get an FDE, black, or red, and it sits right behind the driver's seat really easy, and you can deploy it super well, and it's got a bunch of different med in it. It's not just oh shit medicine. It's also like I'm stranded and I need to get rehydrated medicine, which is important.
Texas Sheep Lady said, I take my purse out of the car, so I take the kid out too, but will cold hurt it?
It shouldn't. Iridium Group just did an awesome video of using our stuff in sub 32. So it was negative 32 degrees out where he was.
No.
And he was like going through the components, going through the kit, testing everything, making sure there was no efficacy issues. And so that's another thing you get when you grab a Refuge kit is we test our crap, like in all of the things. Like we're in Oklahoma, it gets hot as crap here, right? So in the summer, we're out there sweating our crap off just to frickin' test gear for you guys inside of the heat and inside of the elements. In the winter, we're talking to the snowbird all the way up north, and he's testing our stuff up there, right? In the rain season, in the dry season, like all this stuff, we're really working to test and evaluate our gear to make sure you're getting the best stuff possible. And then we change our components when it doesn't work. Like you got, like a lot of people who've been here, they remember when we used to carry hyphen chest seals, right? I go back to that one because it's our latest one. You know, there's been times where we've switched tourniquets. There's been times where we switched duct tape not too long ago. Gloves.
Wraps.
We've switched ETDs before as well, and it's just because we want to use what works and what we can get that's successful in the application for you guys. And so, you know, we're not married to one brand. We're married to making the best first aid kit for you, which is a big deal.
So I may have some like actual real world testing knowledge here soon because I took winter photos of our kids the other day, which by the way, nylon gets really stiff in the winter.
Sure does.
And I put my slick kit on a tree stump, and I think it's still there.
Nice.
It's been like 6 degrees at times, 2 degrees at times. So when I get home today, I'm gonna go out there and grab my slick kit off the tree stump.
That'll be awesome. You should video you doing that and like
it's still here.
open it up and then like see what the components are like.
Yeah.
And then we'll just like replace the components.
Or
So that way.
I could just open it.
Open up the chest seal, stuff like that, see if it works, you know.
Should I like bring it inside and like wait a couple minutes or just straight from the cold?
Just do it in the cold as if it's been in the cold. Because one of the things with the chest seals is like you guys will, if you ever use a chest seal in the cold, what you'll have to do is like transfer some body heat to that adhesive when you're applying it, right? Same thing as tape, right? Because adhesive really suffers in extreme temperatures. It gets not sticky in the cold and it gets super sticky in the warm, which is one of the reasons we love the halos is because you can still separate it in the high temp. Southwest Missouri and Bearfacking car now on that bag and Boo Boo in the camper and about to try to get some besides old China gauze. Yeah, see, Ben gets it. I mean, I have an ARC inside my side-by-side that's been sitting there outside through this whole thing. I was gonna do a video on it. Time, it's just a time thing, guys. It really is.
Project Tribute Foundation is in the TikTok chat.
Dude, Project Tribute Foundation. Guys, if you're a law enforcement officer inside of Oklahoma and you guys need help getting grants or getting funding for life-saving materials, for equipment, for whatever you may need, reach out to Project Tribute Foundation. They are an awesome non-for-profit and all they do is work to serve first responders, right? So it doesn't matter if you're a fire department, doesn't matter if you're a law enforcement officer, if you're inside of Oklahoma, reach out to Project Tribute Foundation. They will help you. That's a great, great group of individuals. John is awesome, dude. He is personally the one like who is responsible for getting kits in the hands of officers that have saved not just the lives of civilians, but also the lives of officers. So there are lives that are still walking around today because John wanted to support people better.
He's 17 now,
yeah, which
right?
I think it's 17 or 18, which goes to show like you guys can have can make a difference. You really can. Like I know sometimes in this world it seems like you can't do anything, but I promise you really, really, really can make a difference, which is huge.
Survive Doomsday joined in the chat.
What's up, Survive Doomsday? Did you do it? Did you survive?
He's got that pretty cool Instagram channel.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah, he teaches a lot of good preparedness stuff. You know, we always like to support preparedness people because we're weird preppers that like put foods in buckets and like have emergency plans and all that stuff here. And so we want to support other people that are like creating more resilient, more capable Americans that can withstand an emergency, can sustain a weather event, can sustain like, you know, conflict, all that jazz. So go give him a follow because he's doing really good stuff over there.
It looks like, so John said nationwide, so I wonder if they're expanding.
Oh, man.
That's freaking
Oh,
amazing.
man. John, you got big stuff. Big stuff there. That is awesome.
Michael over on Instagram said, I've had an ARC in my truck for over a year in mid-Georgia area, and everything still looks great.
Nice, nice. Douglas over at the Douglas V Amateur Radio and more. I fly a lot for work. What IFAC should I get and how would I travel with it? So this is what I recommend. An ankle kit. Our Instagram just tanked.
Why?
I don't know.
We didn't say anything bad. Hold
That's
on.
all right. We'll keep going for YouTube. So anyways, so I would recommend an EDC kit, right? An ankle kit will be totally fine for TSA, right? A slit kit and a tourniquet, totally fine for TSA. And the main thing that you want to avoid is a decompression needle and shears, right? So anything with a decompression needle or shears, the TSA is not going to like. But you can totally fly with, you know, just like an ankle kit. That's totally good.
We're getting back on Instagram.
I actually have a TC3 class I am teaching to local law officers coming up soon. They told me they have zero training in TCCC knowledge. So with that, Justin, if you need training gear, right? So say you need like trainer kits, blue tourniquets, trainer chest seals, whatever have you, let us know. Reach out. We'll try to hook you up with a better pricing than just like the retail because you're doing it for law enforcement officers, and we'll get you that gear.
Officer Blaze joined over on Instagram. He makes some pretty cool videos. I used some of his content the other day.
Officer Blaze is a really cool.
Yeah.
He's got a
Cool
cool
cow.
page. Yeah, he does. I'm entertained and informed every time I check over there. Dude, he can whip that thing, bro. It's pretty cool. That's super cool. Then we got another one. Rickster, Bob, please ask Brittany if she has checked on the Narcan thing. It is a challenge. We're working on it. I promise. It's not just Brittany. Me, Britt, TJ, large medical corporations are all working on Narcan right now to try to get it more available to the public. The challenge is like Narcan is given away for free in a lot of places, and so we're trying to figure out the right way to like get it into people's hands, and if we're going to charge people, and if we charge people, how much, and how does that work, and all that jazz. So we're definitely working on it, I promise.
Praise report in the chat. The 12C conditioning, just wanted to say thank you everyone for all the prayers filling out new job acceptance.
What? That's awesome, bro. A lot of us have been thinking about you, been praying for you, and all that stuff. So that's super, super cool.
So Shadow Medic over on TikTok said, leave your kit in your bag. Planes have mega first aid kits.
Yeah, but do they even know where they are? Like, I'm not leaving my stuff in my bag. Because if it's not on you, you don't have it. Like, have a medical emergency go down and then deal with TSA. Or deal with, like, the flight attendant that's telling you to put your seatbelt on when they've not had...
Seconds.
Yeah, you have 90 seconds in a critical bleed. Like, I'm not vibing with that. I don't trust people, bro. That's not against you. I believe that they have mega first aid kits. I just also believe that they probably aren't trained on them. And right now, airlines are putting a focus on inclusivity rather than on training and expertise. And so just because somebody looks or is a certain way, they're getting hired rather than if they're capable, which is super frustrating. And so, you know, I'm not going to put further trust in terms of like my medical aid rendering into them. Like, nah. But I love you, and I see where you're coming from. If that's the case, like, leave your first aid kit in your truck because it could be, there's one in the grocery store. Leave your first aid kit at home because EMS exists, right? We have ambulances. But it's the same thing, dude. You're just waiting for somebody else to respond, and that's waiting to see if someone else will respond. Like, it just might not happen. Whereas if you have your stuff on you, you're able to potentially save a life, right? And it's like, oh no, we both showed up with a first aid kit at the same time. Cool. Let's use your stuff. That's fine, right? Let's save the life. Please pray for me. I have to fly in April. You don't have to do anything. I'm never getting on another plane again unless it's like my plane, which I don't think I'll ever own a plane. So yeah, no, pass. The whole U.S. corporate world is focusing on hitting quotas rather than skill sets. Yep, that's a thing. It really, really is. I fly twice a week. Douglas, bro, bless you. You're a brave man. You're a brave man.
Double tourniquet challenge. Left arm, right leg.
No. I appreciate the energy, but no, I'm just not there today. I'll get on your plane as long as I don't have to land with it.
So you're gonna jump off?
Yeah, he's a paratrooper. That dude jumped out of planes professionally. And so, no big deal. He's kind of a big deal. He's just, using parachutes and stuff. I had mine for a few years now. It's been great. Bearfac is really great, and I also put an EpiPen with the kit. Super smart. If you're one of those people that needs some epinephrine in your life, it's a good idea to have it, right? Good idea to have it. What's up, Strategic Observations? Thoughts on adding everyday essentials like ibuprofen and Band-Aids to a TFAC or an IFAC? I built my girlfriend a kit for her car and added a bunch of stuff that she would potentially need. Yeah, absolutely. We have boo-boo kits. The bare minimum has like some Band-Aids and stuff like that, some over-the-counter wipes. I don't think it has over-the-counter meds, but that's something super easy that you can add. You can grab like a little OTC med module from us and we can just shove it in the bag for you. It's no big deal. I'll tell you what, I've been fortunate enough to do some things in my time, and like amount of times I've used TQs right here, right? Amount of times I've used ibuprofen, all the way up here. Everybody loves to do with Tylenol or like rehydration salts, so definitely super practical. I have an O2 finger pulse added to my IFAC and blood sugar monitor. Super smart, Ben. Vitals monitoring, so important after a critical incident. Having some way to monitor blood pressure, having some way to monitor your O2, your SpO2, right? Having some way to like consistently check on, their breathing and their respirations, very, very important. Very, very important. Constantly overlooked. But we sell a basic vital set for that reason. I carry in my like team fac, right? I have like a little flat pack that I use, and in there I have like a vitals kit, and I actually have like a pretty nice vitals kit. I can plug into my phone and everything, and I can download all the logistics and all the data right there. And I have like the independent analog ones and all that jazz too. Can you take a TQ on a plane? Yep, sure can. They probably won't even know. What it is. Good idea, vitals kit. Screen frozen, but audio. No, the screen froze. YouTube hates us. I'm sorry. It's frozen for me too. I'm looking at it. I got a frozen screen. I don't know why. It's it just is what it is. Sometimes you get that on YouTube. They hate us spreading the good news of first aid. Guys, we got a couple more minutes, so if you want to throw a question in the chat, this is a great time to do that. Screen is back. Nice. Super nice.
Sorry guys, my battery on my phone was like, it's low, and then it decides to freeze everything while it's so.
Hey, you're moving. No, you're moving. I don't know that you're actually moving. Deborine Publishing, dude, that's one of the best publishers I know. It's the only publisher I know, but she's the best. She's the best around. Bleeding control kit in the hunting bag, ARC in the truck, slick in pocket every day. Got to keep things with you so that you can use them if ever needed. That is a based individual right there. That is somebody who gets it. You got to have kits around you and then on you, right? Because I'll tell you what, it takes more than what you need or what you think you need. Like it really, really does. And you don't have as much time as you think. It's always a time problem. You're fighting that clock, consistently fighting that clock every single time. And so having your gear on you is huge. Do you have a diabetic emergency kit? Maybe an idea. Can have like the emergency glucose and a monitor or something. I've never thought about that. Like that's never even entered my brain.
I totally missed what you
That's a
said.
great idea. I like a diabetic emergency kit. That's a really good idea.
We do the glucose gel.
Yeah, we have glucose gel, but we don't have like testing strips or anything like that. But we could. Huh. That's a good idea. That's something we're gonna look into.
Yeah, maybe for the adventure kit would be a good one, especially because that's the one that we have the
Yeah.
glucose gel in.
Do y'all still sell med kit patches? Yes. No, we don't sell just med patches. We sell we have our patches that say like Refuge Medical on them, but I don't think we have just a med patch. That's kind of silly of us.
Fifi or faux.
Yeah,
said we are able
it's
to get
fee, fi, fo.
there it is. Okay.
Doesn't take you an hour and a half to watch 60 Minutes, I'll tell you right now.
We are able to get a glucose monitor. I did it for special orders.
See, there you go. So maybe that's something we look into. Can I carry my soft tee and Cat 7 in pocket and foldable SOG shears? Yeah, the SOG shears are really cool. Utah is voting right now about genetic-based bathrooms. Based Utah. What else we
I
got?
don't think that's the same based.
But it is. But it is. Ultra based. Cool. Let's do one more question. It's 2:31 over here. So we've been on here for about an hour.
Red med with cross, be nice, add to black bear fact.
Much for add bear fact now, red med with cross. Yeah, that's something to think about. I don't know why we don't do that, but we should. We'll look into that. Maybe just a cross or something like that too. I believe they partner with Ford holsters for some TQ holsters. Yes, so we do partner with Ford holsters. He's got the Kydex TQ holster. It's freaking awesome. It'll take a Cat 7, it'll take a soft T, has really good retention that you can adjust to based on how you're carrying it. And it's made right here locally, which I love.
Wow.
Do you sell blood type patches? We sure do. We sure do.
Brandon said just got off a car fire. What did I miss, y'all?
Whoa, Brandon, how you doing? Just got off a car fire. What did I miss, y'all? Well, you just missed like the live, but you were probably doing the work that the live talks about. So just out there being Brandon, just responding to car fires.
Are the medical kits gender based?
They're not.
But they are based.
But they're super based. But they're not gender based. I guess we do have like some kits for chicks,
So reflective tape for camo kits is really kind of the opposite.
It's like it's antithetical to the point. Like camouflage is supposed to blend in. If you put reflective tape on camouflage, it doesn't blend in. So that's why we don't do it. We've talked about it literally 100 times. And every time we go, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? Because it's usually a very, very small group of people that want that. Very small group of people. Blood typing kit. We do have a blood typing kit. It's called the Eldon Blood Type Kit. You can buy a 3-pack for, I think it's like $20 or something like that. And you can figure out your blood type. Really easy. You can do it at home. Don't got to go somewhere.
Everyone got out. Everybody's safe.
Nice. That's what we love to hear. What do you think of the orange Cat 7 tourniquets? I love them just as much as the black Cat 7 tourniquets, and I love them a little bit more than the blue Cat 7 tourniquets. I think for, inside of a first aid kit in a non-tactical setting, totally fine. Totally fine.
And it's so easy to point it to someone else or like to see it. I mean,
go grab that orange thing on my visor.
No,
you don't have.
Go grab the black thing in my front seat. And they're like, what?
What?
50 feet
Right.
there.
Right, and it's like, grab the orange thing hanging on my visor. You don't have to be like, grab the orange Gen 7 Cat tourniquet that's a windlass tourniquet with a Kevlar band. No, grab orange thing. Okay, and like you can send somebody while you're holding manual pressure. Plus, it's good indicator, like EMTs sometimes are like speeding with shears, right? And so if like EMTs are going really, really fast with shears and they're working up, they'll see that orange cat and they'll be like, whoa, don't cut that. That's a surprise for later. So.
Police report, man. From last week, Ben Valley, remember his friend like got ejected from that car? Like,
Yeah.
So he just came off of ventilation. So
Dude.
He's still sedated, but he's off of ventilation.
That is awesome. Breathing on his own, man. We got air. That is so cool.
job.
Praise yeah. That's so great. That's a good point about not cutting the tourniquet. Yeah, I've just seen people do it, and it's like, oh shit, like literally. Congrats, we have bleeding again, and now we're using another tourniquet. And so there's a reason that we use high-vis tourniquets, like in a non-tactical setting, EMS setting, civilian setting, orange softs, orange cats, red soft T is a really good one too. I think American Red Cross sponsored that one, so it would be red. M81 again? It's been a few years. No, probably not. They never sell. It's you. Scouting in the woods, you're the one who wants M81. Like, there's you and 6 of your friends that will maybe buy one. Like, and it's just not enough to run it in production. I love M81, okay? I do. I love M81. It's just not, it's not viable enough. We're looking at a couple of different, like maybe 2-tones, coming in soon. We were talking about doing like maybe a camo pattern of the quarter. So we'd pick like one camo pattern for a quarter and we'd run like a specialty round, right? Like kind of like a drop basically. And, you know, looked at maybe DNC, which is digital night camo. Looked at AOR1 and AOR2, which is a super duper sick camo from the Navy. And then, you know, we looked at a couple other options too. We looked at multicam Arid, we looked at multicam Alpine, and all that jam. But, you know, what is M81? M81 is the old school camo that you saw in like the 90s. So it's like the woodland camo with like the darker green blotches and black in it and everything like that.
Little squares.
It's classic.
Right?
No, that's Marpat.
Oh,
Marpat is like the marine pattern camo.
It's like the really bold camo
Yep.
pattern then. Okay.
Yeah, big blotchy
Yeah.
greens and browns and blacks.
So Timbo Slice over on TikTok has asked, do you have the youth training program up yet?
Nope, we sure don't. But if you are wanting your youth to attend a class and they're like above the age of 12, go ahead and email me and we can see about getting them slotted in for the next class. We are doing all of our trainings here though. And that being said, we always have, you know, the online training resources are available to anybody who can watch them.
The register asked if we could play.
MAR stands for Marine in Marpat. Yeah, Marine pattern, that's what I said. First time watching Refuge live. Awesome job, host and sidekick. Great questions from Bear Nation. Hey, thanks, DJ. You're freaking cool.
Thank you.
Guess what PAT stands for? Patrick. I had NOM camo in the Civil Air Patrol in the 90s. Yeah, it's similar to that pattern. I ordered a high-vis TQ and got a black one a while back. Just FYI, not a huge deal to me. I'm just letting you all know. Michael, no! Email us so we can send you the proper tourniquet. That's probably just somebody not knowing how to read. Jadis? No, I'm just joking. It probably wasn't Jadis. It was probably Ren. I'll get him. I'll crack the whip. We'll get him. We'll clean it up. Tiger stripe. Dude, I had a tiger stripe hat on today. Oh, I was wearing a tiger stripe earlier. Vietnam tiger stripe. Freaking best. We just moved a 300-pound ram, and we had a few first aid kits. Everyone was safe, had a few ropers, 9 people who were in 4-H. What do you carry for broken bones? I carry a SAM splint, also the tactical emergency splint, and then the Rise splint is a good option too. Ace wraps and tape. And then realistically, you either have to learn how to set it or you have to find somebody who can set it or shit's gonna get really weird after it heals. I was just yelling at you from a distance.
Oh,
yeah.
that's what we do?
That's
Loud noises!
loud noises! Yeah, that's Ren. He's a great guy. Yo, Ren, tell them where you're from.
Eastern Oklahoma.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, so,
Winter camo for the canoes.
yeah, a bunch of people have asked for winter camo, but like,
But will they though?
they won't. It'll never happen. It'll never happen. I texted y'all on the website as soon as I got it, but it may have been the time of a feast. I don't remember. Oh my gosh. That is so crappy that we missed that. I'm so sorry.
no.
I truly apologize, seriously. And I appreciate you bringing it to me. Just hit the chat right now when you hop off, and we literally will get you one out in the mail today, to Dizzy. It was awesome that you guys sent a video text before you shipped out my bear fact. That was beyond thoughtful. Yeah, we try to do that with every single order that includes a cell phone number. Because, you know, first of all, it takes us 15 seconds to do it on average, right? Maybe 25 seconds after you type in the phone number or look up the order. And it means a ton to the customers. And it's fun. Like, we get to have fun making videos, joking around, like making noises, being goofballs. And so it's a really cool way to just show you guys, hey, we're actually human beings over here that care about you. And that's a big thing to us. Ren, did my boo-boo 2.0? He probably did. That's a good possibility there. Best customer service ever, especially if you have questions. Yeah, we try. And if we don't know the answer, which you guys have seen on this live stream, I will not pretend to know the answer, but we will find it for you. We will do the homework. We will do the homework and find those answers. So, with that, it's 2:40. What?
It's 2:40.
I know. Time flies when you're having fun. So it's 2:40. We're going to go ahead and hop off here. Somebody asked to pray, so we'll pray really quick. Have no delay in prayer. And yeah, we'll talk to the Creator because this company, we have a mission statement here. It's to save lives while in service to the Father's kingdom and experience the abundance of His provision and blessing. We're bold about our faith. We love the Lord with our whole heart, our whole body, and our whole mind. And that gives us the power and strength to love thy neighbor as thyself. And so we take that stuff super duper seriously over here. And if you're not about that, I'm sorry. You're missing out on something so awesome. I can't even explain it. But if you have questions about that, feel free to reach out to me because I'm here to talk to you about it. And I've walked alongside people before because people have walked alongside me. So with that, let's talk to the boss and then we'll all get back to work or whatever we do, right? Cool. Oh, holy Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for our daily bread. Thank you for the ability that we have to do these things. Thank you for our jobs. Thank you for our family. Thank you for our friends. Thank you for the people that we come in contact with to witness to about you and about your Son who saves. Messiah, thank you for all that you've done for us in your provision, in your supplication, in your atonement. Thank you for the fact that you would be ransomed for me and for all these people. Please just continue to teach us in your word. Continue to lead us in this life. Deliver us from the enemy that seeks to devour us. Lead us on a path that brings other people to you. We love you. We just want to serve you. We're so humbled by the opportunity to do it. I ask that you would just strengthen us and embolden us to continue to walk in your ways, not in our own ways, not in our own ideas, but in your ways. Because your ways are good. They're holy. They're set apart. We love you, Messiah. Thank you for everything you've done for us. It's in your holy name, Yeshua. Amen. Cool. All right. So with that, that's awesome, Shannon. I keep a slick kit with me always and a first aid. Okay, now I know what I can do when on the road. I find it more often than I would think. I'm a 68-year-old female and stuff happens when I'm alone. Yeah, it's very true. That is definitely true. All right. I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. As always, please carry an effing tourniquet. Shalom. Do 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 do.